to be back in our studio, and I'm loving that they're allowing me to sit on this couch, only because I have a really, really nice guest with me today, Brinson.
Oh, I'm flattered. Thank you very much for having me.
Welcome to the studio. It's fantastic to have you over. So today I decided that before we're going to dive into like the usual things that we do here for Russia Beyond, when we talk about current affairs a little bit and read out your wonderful comments, etc., I would like to introduce you and to allow you to, well, basically introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, what are you doing here in Russia, and for how long have you been here, etc.
Well, is it okay to be nervous?
It's super normal to be nervous.
Okay.
I'm sweating a little bit. It's pretty disgusting, but it's true.
Okay, I'm Bringson Junior, Kadanya. I'm from Kenya. I've been studying in Russia for almost now 2 years. I'm studying in People's Friendship University of Russia. Yeah, that's it. That's it so far. hmm
When we talked a little bit before the show started, you said 2 years, and you keep saying that it's not a long time.
Yes, for sure, it's not a long time. Time really flies super fast because if you ask me what I remember about all these 2 years,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how fast time went because all I think about is, well, 2 years have passed. I was thinking about the other day when I was coming to Russia. The World Cup came and went, and here we are now.
And here we are. Yeah, exactly. I wanted to ask you about the World Cup, but not before I address the elephant in the room, and that's something that we often get as a question, etc. What's it like to live in Moscow as a person of color?
Um, it's interesting because you get to hear a lot of things about Russia before you come to Russia. You get to hear a lot of stereotypic views about that place, how will you survive, there aren't a lot of people of color. But then, interesting enough, when you come here, life just moves on as normal. Of course, you'll be able to get a few stares and here, which is normal for me.
Because it's true, there aren't that many people
Oh, they
at
aren't.
all. Like if you walk into a carriage in the metro, you would probably be
I'd
the
be the
only
only
person
one.
with darker skin.
Yeah, actually, the thing is, when I was coming here from home, I do not remember seeing anybody else of color. I am the only one who have been, so it's normal to get stares here and there. But then, well, life is okay. Life is okay. I can say I've enjoyed life here in Moscow.
Are they more like curious stares, or does that annoy you?
No, no, it doesn't annoy you. You don't let it get into your skin. The
I
thing
see.
is, you need to understand that they haven't seen a lot of us, so for them it's like wow. For some of them it's like, oh look, like the kids will be like,
I've heard kids talking to their
yes,
parents and asking questions, and the parents just going completely red because the person can obviously hear you, and what do you say? And then this whole kind of explanation of va va voom, people have different skin comes in, and everyone's in the carriage like.
Yeah,
If it's public transport or any kind of public
that's something I've
space.
experienced before because there was a kid once. I was entering into the metro and then the kid was like, "Oh, mama, 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 Chorna Pantera, Chorna Pantera."
Black Panther.
Yeah, and then the mother was like, "Oh God." Oh, God. And then I think they left in the next metro. They were not supposed to leave.
She just didn't know what
She
to.
just didn't know what to do, didn't know what
Oh
to say.
dear.
She was embarrassed, I think. So she just took hold of the kid. Yeah, we're supposed to leave, and then they left the metro. But then for me, I don't feel like it's something that should get on my skin. It's just the normal. They've not seen most of us, so it's normal.
That's okay. Have you ever experienced anything that was downright scary? Any boots of nationalism or racism on behalf of Russians, etc.?
I can't say there was only once who were a group of us. We got into the metro. We were from watching a match. Then when we got into the metro, there was a guy who I don't know if he was uncomfortable, but then he stood up because we sat a bunch of us. He stood up then left. But then there's nothing that I can say I've experienced something
Nothing
that's
openly aggressive.
no, nothing openly aggressive.
Oh, that's good news because I was worried. Because I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't even know. I know that nationalism exists in Russia, and I know that a lot of it's been reported during the World Cup, although it was a massively friendly event, still, because everything comes to surface. Like the super friendliness and openness of Russians came to surface, but also everyone was searching for these stories of.
I mean, all I can say is in every marketplace you'll always find something not everything is good, but then for me personally, I've not experienced something that I can say, oh, Russia, I don't want anything to do with Russia again. Or for me, I've been enjoying life so far, and all is good. All is good. Yeah.
Has university, because that's like a melting pot. That it's a university that was set up during Soviet times, I believe, and it was especially opened up for people from different countries to come and study here. Well, first in the Soviet Union, now in Russia, and you've got people from all over the world. And also, if you're in Moscow, please know that there are some amazing restaurants there. Like, I go to one with Indian food, and it's super cheap and it's amazing.
That's true. My university is, honestly, it has opened up. If you ask me how life has been in Moscow, I feel like I've been to the entire world, because we have people from all over. I've experienced cultures from different parts of the country, of the world, Middle East, Latin America, all over Africa. So our university kind of brings everyone together, and we coexist. We live in a beautiful environment, I can say.
Tell me about that, because Africa's enormous and not particularly very friendly towards countries within. Some conflict endures. Have you met people from places from Africa that you thought you'd never be friends with?
That's true. Funny story. I never thought I could meet people from Africa who we cannot understand each other. So when we met, funny thing is, we come to Russia, we meet, but then we cannot speak English. I cannot speak English to them. They cannot speak maybe French or Portuguese. So we have to find a common language to speak. And oh wow, we're in Russia, so we end up speaking
Russian.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so it's interesting how we've met and we'll be able to make friends. And the thing is, we look at each other and we embrace each other from the perspective that all of us come from Africa, and coming to this place, we want to seek education and make home better. So the thing is, it's interesting for us to we don't have that animosity or enmity. No. We are friends, all of us. Yeah.
Fantastic. We've got comments coming in, and people are obviously asking, how's your Russian? So you said that amongst yourselves you would speak Russian. Can you say something? Привет, как дела?
Привет, все хорошо. My Russian is quite 50-50, 50-50. Я могу понимать, когда люди говорят, но...
So he says that he can understand.
Но я не могу много говорить, и быстро тоже не могу.
But speaking fast and fluently is a little bit difficult, but also, I mean, he just said that perfectly and hardly with any accent at all. That was really good. Give me 5. That's really amazing.
Thank
well
you.
Done. Дай 5.
Спасибо, thank you.
Did you only start learning it here when you came 2 years ago?
Yeah, before that, I had never had any word of Russian. Actually, when I came here, I knew I was going to Russia. I spoke English, so I knew probably when I landed at the airport.
Get by,
I'll get about. I'll speak English, but shock on to me because I didn't. You can search Moscow for a long time. You cannot find somebody who speaks English.
That's
so
true.
I had to adapt and try to learn Russian. So
I was so surprised to hear that, because I live in this bubble of thinking that, oh, come on, everyone speaks English in Moscow. And then I started meeting foreigners who are like, girl.
You can take a long time, because for me when I came here, like I took almost 4 months before I could find somebody who could speak English to me.
Wow.
So for the entire time, it was like, should I go back home? Will I manage with this language? Like everything was just adding on to the cultural shock and a lot of things you had to juggle between.
And what about the weather?
The weather also, because I came at a time when I came around September, October. That was a time when winter was just about to come, so things were...
It just gets so depressing in November.
Yeah, it was. But then here we are.
2 years later, you speak fantastic Russian.
Well, thank you very much.
You've made friends with people you never thought you'd meet in your lives from all over the world.
I never thought I'd meet a lot of people. I have friends from Syria, I have friends from Iran, I have friends from Chile. It's just an amazing experience it has been.
All happening here in the land of permafrost. I'm going to give you a little break so you can have to drink some water, etc. And I'm going to address some of the comments that we received to our live stream. ages ago, before I fell victim to my wisdom tooth. Sorry I couldn't be here last Friday. I was just feeling miserable and on so much medication that I couldn't string a sentence. But yeah, we've got some fantastic comments. For example, again, about my wisdom tooth. What was your out-of-pocket expense for this wisdom tooth extraction procedure? Well-wishers asking. $55 US, which is nothing, I know, and it's even cheap for Moscow. So I went to a place which was an absolute bargain. But I think that like normally your price would be double that, and maybe if you want to go really swanky, it can be even more expensive. But otherwise, I think it was a pretty good deal. We also have free medical health care in Russia, but that would require, I think, a little bit of waiting, and I wanted things done on the spot. Ali Amini shares a really sweet personal story and says that my opinion about Russian people is that they're lively, cheerful, very comfortable to be with, and all I've heard was that they're cold, but I wouldn't deny it. They're not. Much love and peace to Russian people. And can you tell me about your experience? Because you said that you've heard something about Russia but didn't know that much, but definitely there was a kind of preconception that it would be cold. What about the people? Did that change when you arrived?
The people is interesting because I want to look at Russians in the sense that when you look at them, they can be hard to. They look like, yes, when they say they're cold, they don't smile a lot, so maybe you can be intimidated.
Yeah.
But then the thing is, when you get to know them, it opens up and they become so friendly. They talk to you nicely, and you're like, is this what we knew about Russians? Because when you watch all the movies, all the Hollywood movies,
it's like they put a filter on. Everyone's really.
You look at all the Russians in the movies and you're like, oh goodness. And this is where I'm going. I'm going to deal with 140 million of them. So you're like, I guess that's why most of us become afraid, because you see one character in a movie, the way they're Russian mafia. And then
grumpy
like,
people.
Yeah, grumpy, sad, and no nonsense. Then you're like, somebody will tell you, you're going to Russia. Oh goodness, I don't know how you'll do it.
Do you have many Russian friends here?
I don't have many Russian friends. I have a bunch of them. Like, let's say, no, I don't have like a big group, but I have some good Russian friends. That's what I can say.
Some close connections.
Yes,
that's really cool.
Close connections, yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, someone says, just face it, you're regularly rude people about Russians. That's exactly us. And then we had another comment, because we did a show on weather in Moscow and on the Russian winter, and it was back when we didn't have any snow at all, so we posted this photo of our office outside from the window of our office, showing the street, which is meticulously clean and very unusual for this time of year. That's you true. Now know. And someone left a really funny comment that it's a great time to invade Russia because it's winter, but it's still not cold. Well, here's one for you. The snow's back.
It is back. It is back. And the thing is, no, the snow is back. Okay, even though we didn't have snow, it was still cold. So the cold had not gone away, but now the snow is here with us. And actually, it's funny this year because for somebody like me, it's my last year in Russia, so I've been actually waiting for the snow. I'll be like, one more time. But then it's been taking a while, but here it is. It is here with us, yeah.
And it's nice, just enough for us to actually appreciate it.
Yes.
But not too much. It's not brown yet.
No, not yet. I am still waiting for the time when it will be a lot, mnoga sneg.
A lot of snow. I don't think that we're going to get that this winter, you know. And when I said, yeah, it's not slushy yet, because Moscow is such a big city. There are nearly 20 million people living here, I think. And we get some snow. It's pretty for a day, and then a few days later, cars and pollution, it's just turned into this like brown slushy thing that doesn't resemble chocolate, just looks wrong. So that's not happening right now, which is great.
Yeah, not yet.
We've got some fresh comments coming in. This is a good one, and this is a fantastic question to you. How do you like Russian food, or how do you dislike Russian food?
I'm not somebody who experiments with food a lot.
So tell me, what do you eat then? Because that would be interesting. Like, what's your diet here in Moscow?
I stick to KFC, and as you said, there's some good restaurants
Right.
back on campus. So we have some African food, we have Indian cuisine, we have Latin American cuisine. So those are things that I try here and there. But then for me, lucky enough, we have KFC, McDonald's, or
So
fries.
that's like your staple.
What
I'm
choice do I
just
have?
I'm checking him out right now because you're so fit. If I eat KFC and McDonald's every day, oh my, I'd be sitting alone on this couch, and like there wouldn't be enough space for me.
But funny enough, most Russians also they eat KFC and McDonald's, but then you won't get to see all those huge
Like
people.
really obese people.
No, you don't get to see that a lot. So I don't know. Maybe I don't want to for theories, but then I don't know. I don't know why. For us, that's what we eat.
Wow.
Favorite Russian food I remember borscht maybe. That's all.
Like the soup. So you
Yeah,
like
the
the
soup.
idea of soup.
Yeah, the soup. I actually, for the first time, I took soup in Russia,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that's something I'll be taking back home. Borscht and some other soups. I don't know the names, but then some
That's really
potatoes.
cool. Yeah, that's very, because they're like hearty and warm. And my favorite thing about soups is also that whenever I need to save a little bit of money, I just make this huge pan. I can eat it for a week, and it's basically like root vegetables that are really cheap. So it's
Yeah,
very,
yeah,
very good.
that's something I'll
yes.
be taking back
Listen
home.
to a Jewish girl when it comes to saving money.
Yeah, that's it.
More comments coming in, just flooded by them, which is really nice. Do you receive social aid from the Russian government? Here's a weird one.
Yeah,
do?
we do.
So you come in as a foreign student?
Yeah, basically the system with the Russian education is every student receives stipendia. Now look at me.
Which is social aid for studying. If you pass your exams and you're good enough, that's when you get it. But you can also choose to study
there's
commercially, where you pay the university.
Yeah, the thing is there's a constant fee that they give you, social aid, but then when you study and when you pass your exams, it keeps on going higher and higher. Yeah, that's the thing that goes on in the Russian education system.
Okay, well, good for you. That's well done. Another year of this. So when you say another year, it means that you're finishing your exams this spring, and then you get to study from September till spring 2021?
No, the thing is, actually, I'm on my this is the last year.
Ah, I see.
This is the last year, so basically I still have 6 to 7 months. Yeah, and then after that, I go back home.
Well, we were lucky to catch you here.
Well, thank you. It's an honor to be here, actually.
Thank you so much. Do you watch Rush Beyond?
Yeah, I get to look at a lot of things that happen. So when you get a Russian channel that talks about Russian experiences, shares a lot of Russian happenings and events in English, that's something you'd be lucky to have. So
It's a bit of a relief
Yeah,
for
it's-
someone living here. Where do you find your information from? What sort of... I'm even like asking generally, is it a television set or is it the internet?
I guess social media.
Social media.
And I have a bunch of friends, so if there's something interesting, something that has happened, something that has occurred, you'll be able to get it from friends, and they'll tell you, hey, did you hear about this? Did you hear about this? So, and with the internet, the thing is, things have become a bit easier.
Yeah.
Instantaneously, you get to hear about anything at any time.
And you can be anywhere. Like,
That's the funny thing.
I was like, I miss London and I miss my friends. And then I was like, well, why don't I just tune into BBC Radio 1 right now and enjoy it for a bit? And then suddenly it's like I'm... poof.
Yeah, you're there already.
Transformed.
Yeah, that's the thing. And for someone like me, I get to follow events from home, get to hear about things. And as I told you, we have people from all over the world, so you get to hear a lot of small bits of information from all over the
From
place.
each other as well.
Yeah.
That must be so interesting because it actually gives you an understanding of what people globally are interested in, not just that small group of...
And the thing is, I was living in a bubble before I came here, but then when I came here, I was like, wow, there's a different world. People speak Russian, no English at all. Oh, then there's somebody else who speaks Portuguese, no English at all. For somebody like me, I thought that maybe because I spoke English. A lot of people would be speaking English, but shock to me. The world just basically opened up. So for these 2 years, I've learned a lot. Not only in Russia, but also about the world. Yeah.
What do you miss about home the most?
My friends. I miss my friends a lot, and hockey. I'm a hockey player, so not ice hockey, field hockey.
Oh, okay. Because I was just like about to lose it and go batshit crazy. What do you mean? You miss hockey in Moscow?
No.
Field hockey. I got you. That's a different thing altogether.
Yeah.
They don't play it here, do they?
They do, but it's so far away. It's on the outskirts, and I will not get time to go all the way to that side. Yeah, so.
And that's Brinson talking about the outskirts of Moscow, because someone asked us a question about whether or not you've travelled across Russia, and I know that you haven't done that much travelling, but tell us about the places that you have been to.
No, I've traveled a lot actually in Russia. During the World Cup, I went to 2 cities, and then after the World Cup, I think the traveling spirit came onto me. So I've been to Volgograd, I've been to Nizhny Novgorod, I've been to this New Year's I was in Sochi.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's a lot. That's more than me.
Yeah, so so I've traveled a lot in Russia. So it's an interesting place to be, to travel, to see the people. It's an interesting place.
Did you feel safe? I know I keep coming back to the same stupid question. Maybe I'm biased.
No. I understand, because that's something that most people talk about Russia. They're like, oh, it's not safe. But then for somebody like me, I've been traveling, and I can still say there's one more. I've been told before you leave Russia, you must go to St. Petersburg. So that's something that I'm planning on.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Wait for spring. I would suggest spring and summer.
I was told summer would be beautiful.
Oh, it's just it's so different as well from everything else. It just stands out on its own. So you came to Russia without knowing much about it, and I think that's perfect, because it's so easy to ask you now, like, what stands out when you come home and you talk to people and they ask you, so, like, your top 5 Russian things, what would those be?
Let's start with the women. Let's get that.
And that answers some of our questions that we've been getting in, like, how do you like Russian girls?
Well, yeah, that's something that stands out, Russian women. Of course, the cold, that's something also. Oof. I thought, when you're outside, they tell you, oh, Russia is cold. So you already have that perspective of Russia being cold.
Yeah.
But then when you get here, it shocks you even more. You're like, oh my goodness, sure, it is cold.
It is cold. They weren't lying.
Yeah, it is cold. Then what else can I say? The people. I would say the people are like coconut. You look at them from the outside, they look like, but then in the inside they are sweet, and you can talk to them, you can have a conversation with them.
That's beautiful.
Quite easily.
Because I feel like a coconut at times. I'm just like, me on a bus, I'm just like...
Exactly. On the bus or in the metro, they're just there, you don't...
Blank. I'm not that. But I know that I'm a chatty and bubbly person, and I smile a lot, but me outside, walking around, just like... It's not even a resting bitch face, it's just like, I'm going to kill your family kind of...
And then
face.
Something else, you have a rich history. And then what else? What else can I say? I'm at 4 now. I don't know what else I can say about the
4's
fifth one.
good. 4's a good
4 is
number.
okay.
These, your top 4. That's interesting. I like that. I like that you're talking about your hands-on experiences first, and then talking about the kind of cultural and wider aspects of the country later on. That's really cool. Did you ever try the холодец?
What is that?
Food. It's like jello from meat. Blah.
No, I don't think I've tried that.
You've got some things that you still need to do here, man.
Oh. So maybe I should get some 2 more years, eh?
Why not? Like, ask for a scholarship or something.
No, but I miss home.
I would imagine.
Yeah,
What's the apart from your friend? You said friends. You miss your friends. And like, what's the food that you'd come home to and like, I want to eat this?
There's something back home, we call it. It's a mixture of flour and water. Nothing fancy really. But then we call it ugali. It's something that I've missed, because here we have flour, maize, corn flour, but then it's a bit different. It tastes a bit different. So
I see.
and that's something that I really long for, to get my hands on. Yeah.
Good old carbs.
Yes.
I understand. Probably
simple,
like
but
cooked in your family as well.
oh, it's like our national. For Kenya, it's like our national food. Yeah. So for us, that's something that you'll get in every home, all across the country. Yeah.
I'm so hungry now. I'm like, I want that. Because I thought you'd talk about something really spicy, maybe, I don't know. And yeah, I'd eat that right now.
It's simple. It's just water and flour mix.
But it has to be the right water and the right flour. Otherwise, it's just always.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I understand it. What you're saying so well, because I spent periods of my life living abroad, and especially when I was a kid, living somewhere as far away as Australia. Before the internet, before everything went global, we just couldn't get our hands on any Russian food at all. And then someone would bring produce that kind of resembled Russian food, but was actually from Germany, and it just was never the right thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I get here, because we also have that food in the African restaurants. We have the same thing, but then it's just not. It doesn't have that homely taste, homely feeling. Yeah,
it's almost like they're teasing you, but it's not the right thing.
It's not the
Simply
right
S is writing that he's Ugandan, and it's really comforting to hear a fellow East African accent on the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Alexander is asking if you've ever used valenke. Valenke, felt boots. Out of felt, they're like woolen boots.
No. I haven't tried that before.
See, I'm suggesting like you need to write these things down.
I should get a pen and paper. And
we had a fantastic piece of news come out from Russia recently about the 16-year-old Russian girl from a small town called Chaikovsky, which is like 1,300 kilometers away from Moscow, so it's way out in the Urals. Who she would just like repetitively draw pictures and portraits of Billie Eilish. You know her, the singer. And yeah, she's the 16-year-old. She just liked to do that after watching some series she saw on Netflix. And suddenly, Vogue US, the magazine, the American Vogue, which is like the biggest fashion book you can find out there, they've contacted her because they wanted her drawing to go onto the cover.
Interesting.
And she didn't believe them. I mean, she was just like, she asked them to send her in some papers and documents proving that they were really from Vogue US, and they did it. Here it is.
Oh, interesting.
So they published that, and she's like head over heels, and apparently the singer herself picked out which image she wanted for
and the thing is, you know, Billie Eilish is kind of that artist who lives, I don't know if it's a different kind of impression. So I feel like if she picks something about what the kid drew, you know, for a kid, she's innocent, she's just being expressive of herself. And for Billie Eilish, even if you listen to her songs, they're a bit expressive in a different way. So I feel like it's
she's very young herself, super talented.
Yeah, sure.
And well, I mean, she's won 6 Grammys last time, or more. I don't know, so much. So she doesn't need me sitting here saying that she's talented. But I really love this vibe of, I suppose, a connectedness of youth where people can just approach each other using the internet. I'm glad you know her songs and you like her songs. What kind of music do you appreciate?
Music, I'm kind of diverse. I listen to anything that will tickle but mostly, you see, times are changing. We used to listen to R&B, hip hop, but then there's this pop culture that is coming up, and we have some really cool sound coming from the pop artists. So for me, I listen to that, and then a bit of Afro pop, of course, from Nigeria, and then a little bit of house from South Africa.
Oh, very nice. Very in tune with your sound.
Yeah, that's the thing. You must from home first, and then you open up to the outside world.
Do you get to hang out somewhere in Moscow? Do you go like to nightclubs and bars, dancing, these kind of things?
It's Friday, so every Friday, you know
You're
what we do.
dressed for the occasion. You look amazing.
Well, thank you very much. Get some vodka into. They say when you go to Russia, make sure you test vodka. So it's Friday, we get to test vodka, and that's how the night goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We get to hang out with different friends and just let the.
Do you go to the city centre, to bars in the city centre, or is it up at campus?
Up at campus, city center, once in a while. Once in a while, city center. But then mostly, we have everything in campus. So
That's true. It's like a city on its own.
it is. It's like the whole world has come, so we get to sample a taste of each and everyone's culture. You feel like you want to listen to some Russian. There's a place where you can get to hang out with a Russian, Arabic side. Africans are on the other side, Latin America on the other side. So for us, it's like a sample of each and everyone's culture all over the world.
It's like a perfect sushi set.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's much better than that. It's really, I feel like I need to go up there. It's quite far away from the city centre, but my lord, the food.
It's beautiful.
What's your favourite Russian singer? Here's a question from Alexander.
I can sing the song.
Oh, do that, please. Yes.
Запах женщины моей, я хочу остаться с ней до конца. Yeah, I think there's this Habib. And then who's the other one? I can sing a bunch of songs, but I don't know the names exactly.
Sing a bunch of songs. That's like so much better than remembering names, because you're really good at this as well.
No, come on, don't put me in the hot spot. I was already sweating. Now when you ask me to sing,
that's fine. No, we'll have two stinky people on the couch. That's the name of my new show.
Oh goodness!
People getting nervous and becoming stinky on a blue couch.
Let's not go there.
Just one.
I already sang one.
2.
Oh goodness! Which other one can we sing? Why are they doing this to me? At the top of my head, I don't have any song. Oh goodness!
How about no Russian? How about a song from Kenya that we've never heard here in Russia, for example?
A song from Kenya?
Yeah, it could be absolutely anything, like a lullaby or just something from pop music, anything. Because
oh goodness!
I have no clue.
You have no clue? I'm sure you've had some bit of Kenyan language. We speak Swahili. Do you know of Hakuna Matata?
Yes.
Oh, that's Swahili for you.
Perfect.
So another language you can speak English.
Oh, definitely. That's Russian. I'm putting that on my CV.
Swahili now.
Yeah, fluent in Swahili. Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna what?
What does it mean?
Bez problema.
Bez problema. Hakuna Matata actually means that.
Yes.
But you're veering me away from my.
I thought I managed
request.
to.
No.
Yeah. Oh goodness, I'm so. And now, when you come back to my country now, I feel like I have so many songs in my head. I don't know which one to pick.
You have a think. I'm going to tell our viewers what we're currently working on, and you have a think, because it would just be really cool. Just one verse.
I think that would be good.
Not too much.
That would be okay.
Think of a song which will be really, really cool, which is not a Hakuna Matata, which I like to sing in the shower sometimes, but it's disgusting because when I sing, it's just terrible. We've got 2 top articles that we can share with you. From Russia Beyond, Russia's most beautiful police women. I mean, everyone wants to see that. It's a gallery of real Russian police women on Instagram. And yeah, we put all of that into an article. And then also an ultimate guide on how to cook borscht, which would be really fantastic for Junior here, because he likes the soup and he's taking that recipe home with him.
Yeah, of course,
several steps like making the soup very meaty, using shank cuts or oxtails. I've never done that in my life. I can actually cook up a very decent veg borscht, which is, again, an option. For those of us who don't eat meat, I eat meat sometimes, it's fine. So yeah, you can check all of those on our website, Russia Beyond. And also, I don't know if we've done this promo before or not. We put together a really nice web page on Russia Beyond talking about our projects and all of our media shenanigans that we're up to here in the studio, about myself, and Tim Kirby as well, so who has his own channel affiliated with the company, which is called RTTT, Russia Tips, Tricks and Travel. So check that out if you can find it online somehow. And I'm going back to the studio because it's suddenly music hour here.
So let's go back to the Russian song.
Okay.
There's this Russian song, Chika, Veronica.
Uh-huh.
Veronica. So that's where you come in.
Chi-
Chika, chika, chika,
Chica,
chika.
chica, 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 chica.
Of
Uh-huh.
what? And then there's some few Russian ones, they sing pretty fast. And then Veronica.
Chika, 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 chika.
Well, that's it.
I think we can be a duo and a very successful
A
one.
very good one, yeah. Let's travel the world and conquer the world.
Well, teach me a Swahili song.
Swahili song. There's a song that goes, Malaika, nakupenda malaika. It means, angel, I love you, my angel.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, it's one of the classics.
Malaika.
Nakupenda malaika. What?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
My angel, I love you, my angel. That's that's so much better than Hakuna Matata.
yeah,
Hakuna Matata's cool as well, but this is just something that
it's one of the classics, Kenyan classics.
So if I come visit, and to the border policeman, I just go.
No, tell them Hakuna Matata.
Okay.
And then tell them Jumbo. Wow.
What's Jumbo?
Jumbo? It's like Privyet.
Ah,
They'll be
like hi,
yeah,
like
and
Jumbo.
what? So they'll be like, oh, welcome in.
I love cross-cultural friendships and relations. It's just beautiful. Let me see if we're getting any more comments. We've actually covered this, but JW Levin's asking again, what's the point of learning a language and then leaving? I don't understand. And as far as I understand, you're taking all of the knowledge and everything that you've learned here, not just Russian, but obviously you've been studying other things as well.
The thing is...
And then going back home with that.
The thing is, you see, for me, learning a totally different language, it has been mind-opening in a number of aspects, because the fact that I've been learning Russian, it has led me close to learning Swahili, which is my language back home. I feel like there are a lot of things we don't learn, because when you learn from a different perspective, you get to be like, so there's this. In Swahili, is there something like this? Then you're like, we did have, or we didn't have. So you feel like...
You start comparing grammatical structures and things like that, and then realize that, for example... the way the language systems develop, certain languages don't have what other languages have at all. It's just not there.
And
like gender, for example.
Like for the first time when I was trying to learn Russian, it was so difficult, because you tell me there is female, there is male, then there is it. I'm like, oh goodness, can we stop already?
And sometimes it doesn't make any sense.
It didn't make sense.
Like, for example, people often think that Russian and Ukrainian, for example, are very close together, but it's mind-boggling. We have цветок, which means flower, and in Russian it's male. It's a dude. And in Ukrainian it's kvitka, which sounds a little bit like цветок, kvitka, but it's female. And it sort of makes a little bit more sense because it's so delicate, right? But it's just all over the place, and sometimes getting your head around it is impossible.
But it is interesting. The thing is, I cannot regret for me spending time to learn Russian. And actually for me, I've developed an interest. I want to start now learning a new language. I feel like this is the part of Russian that I know. I know a lot more about Russia that I didn't know, because when you try to get information about Russia, when you understand English, you get limited information. But then when you understand Russian, you get to access a lot more information, and you're like, wow, so we really did have information about Russia. It's only that we didn't have, there was the language aspect of it that was hindering learning more.
Even when you look at Wikipedia pages, you have one set of facts written in English, and it can be completely different from everything that's written about the same subject in Russian. That's always scary to me, because I think about the languages that I don't understand.
And the funny part is, even if you use Google Translate, you check a text in English, you translate it directly to Russian, you'll be looking at it and you're like, this is wrong, because what Google Translate does, it does the direct translation, but when you compare the two, you're like, no, 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 this is not what this person meant. So when you have an understanding of the language, you get to have an insight a bit more of a few things. So for me,
it's beautiful. It just opens up a different culture, and you become curious.
Very curious, and you want to keep going.
Yeah. What's your next language of choice?
I think Spanish, because I'm told I have a few friends from Latin America, so when we hang around and they tend to speak a lot of Spanish. So, and actually one of my best friends here in Russia is from Chile. So
yeah,
basically I want to learn some Spanish and be able to, because I feel like for the few words that I've heard, it can be easy for me to delve in.
That's really cool. I remember watching a movie, I don't remember where exactly from, but I was with my friend from Colombia, and to me they were just like Latin American guys talking to each other, and she just went, hang on, press pause, and she's like, he's from Mexico, he's from Argentina, he's from this place, and that's why they're talking like that, because he thinks that he's superior, Argentinians think that they're superior, etc. And it was just, and it was like 1 minute from the film. I would have never understood and felt that if she wasn't sitting next to me explaining those things.
It is interesting for me right now when I watch a movie, a Hollywood movie, then it gets to the part where somebody speaks Russian. I'm like, oh goodness, we don't need, no, don't write anything on the screen. I understand.
Yeah.
Like there was this movie we watched, The Green Book. Actually, the funny part is he was a black guy, so he spoke some Russian. And I felt so nice in the theater. I was like, oh my goodness, I don't even need those words. I just listen to the guy and get to understand it. I was so excited. It was, how can I say it? I can't find the exact words to...
You were proud, maybe? Proud of yourself?
Proud, excited, happy, all those emotions in one jar. So it was a beautiful
that's
moment.
A mason jar that I would gobble up immediately. I like that cocktail. Feeling happy on so many different levels. We already talked about the fact that you have discovered, and you knew this before coming over, that yes, you will constantly be the only black guy in the room, and you'd have to get used to it, and it would be just like part of living in Russia. I'm so happy to hear from you that nothing terrible has happened, and people might be curious, but they're not annoying or aggressive. But I can't stop but ask you whether or not you've heard the N-word here.
No, I've not heard. I cannot say that I've heard. Like, I've not heard anybody use the N-word on me, yeah.
That's really cool. The reason why I'm asking isn't just as obvious as that. It's also because purely linguistically, I think, especially during the Soviet Union, the word "neger" that's the Russian version of, well, you can tell yourself, it never felt like it would offend anyone. And it's really weird. It's like the opposite of the word Jew, for example. So saying Žid, just using the Juda form of the word, in Russia you can't do that because that's terribly offensive. And it's vice versa, and the exact opposite with the N-word, which is, but now, like in the recent, I suppose maybe the last 20 years or so, because people are so much more open to American culture, and we're starting to realize that no, that's a no-go zone. We don't use that word. We're not sure why, but apparently it's super offensive, and we can't do it here as well. So people stopped using that. That's good. Because like if my granny would say it, she would just like plainly say it to describe a person of color without thinking that it might hurt anyone. Yeah, at all. It would just mean that that's a person with dark skin. That's it.
But then for the thing is, what can I say about this? I wanted to say something, then all of a sudden, bum.
Sorry, it was me. I just got carried away. And yeah, that was just my pure curiosity, because like whether or not you kind of heard it on the background somewhere, etc. So that's eliminated.
No.
And it's a cultural change.
It's a culture. For me, I feel like the relationship, you can feel when you hang out with the Russians before you get to talk to each other. There's that tension. They don't really know. Some of them, there's that curious element, but then there's some aspect of they're nervous. They don't know
what to expect.
Yeah, what to expect or how, because they've seen the TV. They also have some stereotype. They've watched TV, read books, so you see, you have this perspective. And then now he's here, you don't know what to do, what to say. So there's that tension before. But then when you get to talk to them, they're like, it becomes normal. Things dissolve really quickly. So you have normal conversations. You laugh. It becomes
education and an open mind is key.
That's the thing.
To happiness, isn't it? Just know more. Learn about the things that maybe you're not too curious about initially, but just try and push yourself always. Always. I think that takes us to beautiful places. Have you heard about Pushkin?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Pushkin. Yeah, Pushkin.
And everyone was like, Pushkin's a bit like you.
Yeah, that's what they say.
That's talented, right?
That's what they say.
It's a comment coming in.
He's from Ethiopia, I think. They
his
say
great-grandfather.
Yeah,
so he's, I think, quarter
from all the way
Ethiopian.
back. Yeah, from Ethiopia.
And he is the most iconic Russian writer that you can think of, and people think of him as being quintessentially Russian. So I think that's beautiful.
That's beautiful. They say he has a lot of, in developing the Russian language, he has a hand, so it is beautiful. That's why I tell you, Russian history is wide. You have a lot that you can learn, apart from the...
Such a pleasure that you know all of these things. It's really nice.
No, the thing is, when you decide to learn the language, you go beyond the language. You become curious, as you said. You become curious and you're like, so there's this. And when you find this, you feel like, wow, there's something else. So you keep on going, digging deep, and you're like, wow.
There's so much.
So much.
Dawit S is asking, are people in Russia judgmental about relationships between Russian and black people? And before I ask you, I'm going to answer that there was a very beautiful Soviet film, and it was obviously propaganda, and I think it's set somewhere in the 50s, so it's post-war. And it's about this American actress who comes to visit the Soviet Union, and she's terrified because she has a tiny little beautiful gorgeous black baby, and she's scared that she would be judged. And in the very end of the movie, she emerges with that little child in this huge theater, and everyone's super happy because it's the Soviet Union where everyone embraces everyone else and everyone is equal. And that was a very big message by the Soviets, that here race, color, even gender, no one cares. Everyone's meant to be equal.
That's something about you guys, is people mind their own business. People mind their own business often. And I have a bunch of friends who have what do you call that?
Interracial?
Yeah, interracial relationships. And they're proud of it. You can hold hands. There's nobody who judges you. Well, if there's judgment, it's something that I don't know of. Maybe.
I see. Yeah. So it's like someone...
But openly, but openly, I've not seen...
Like no one would holler at you or scream anything.
People mind their own business. Somebody will be in the bus reading the newspaper.
Have you had a Russian girlfriend? Like a kind of girlfriend that you'd go and meet her parents kind of girlfriend?
No, I've not been... No, I've not had a Russian girlfriend.
Well, still... Things ahead, ladies. You know, comment section. I wanted to say something and then I got excited. But I'm obviously engaged, so I'm not on the table. Oh yeah, I remembered. My friend did a fantastic photo project where she would take photographs of mixed families and their beautiful children. The children are just stunning, because that's when you get darker skin shades and bright blue eyes and all of it's just praise love.
That's what they say. That's what there's a friend of mine who has a kid with and the kid looks so beautiful. The moment the kid comes in, let's say we're in a room, the Russian girls will be like, oh, snap-a-bong. They'll run to the kid, Idi come here, all over the place. So
little curly angel.
Yes. They say, they talk about the hair and such like things. Yeah.
Tell me about, well, obviously I think that's something that you probably do on campus, but I remember a friend of mine asked me about grooming in Moscow. Like, she couldn't find a place where she could get her hair, afro hair, tended to, because she wanted to do like extensions and things like that. That felt a little bit off the market. Is there a scene for that now?
No, the thing is, there are people who do it, but then they do it individually,
privately.
Yeah. You'll find a lot of people, actually. You'll find people from South Africa, from Nigeria. They tend to do that a lot in campus. Yeah, there's always somebody who does something
again, so it's like word of mouth.
Yeah.
But it's not as in you can rock up at any kind of beauty salon and probably everyone would be just
no there's
clueless.
A beauty salon. The thing is, there's a specific beauty salon. You can go there and ask, and then they'll refer you to somebody who does that, because the thing is, it's a game of numbers. The salon is there, but then the thing, we don't have, they cannot put somebody there who deals with such kind of hair, and there's no customers, there's no influx of them.
So
exactly. They'll have her on the side, and then when somebody comes and inquires, you'll be sent to her. They'll be like, there's somebody who does here. That's what they do.
Well, that's good to know. Do you know the culture of joking in Russia? Like Russian jokes, anekdoты, we call them anecdotes.
No.
Not really?
I think that's something we're going to learn today.
Okay. It's just small jokes that we pass on, and there's always one for every single occasion. I never tend to remember any of them. I laugh like crazy, and I'm like, this time, this is something I'm definitely going to remember, and then we have a party, I'm going to say it, but I never do. I thought maybe you remembered something, so I wanted to ask you whether or not. But if you don't know, what's a typical joke from where you are?
What do you mean, a typical joke from?
You know, like, well, British jokes or English jokes, they're usually like, I don't know, a dog, a cat, and a parrot walk into a bar, and then something happens. And then is there like a form of joking?
No, for me,
not really. It's just sense of humor.
No, we have a sense of humor, and I watch a lot of stand-up comedy. So, for me, I find a reason to laugh out of everything, every situation. Like, I follow this American stand-up comedian, Andrew Schulz.
Yeah.
Jokes about anything. He was in Russia, actually. He came to Russia, I think, last year, around late last year, and he did his stand-up in English.
Yeah.
And there was somebody to translate to Russian. So he was like, "Excuse me, so let me get this straight. I'm cracking jokes in English, and then there's somebody who's translating. Are you guys getting the joke?" People are all over laughing. So, the point is, for me, I find a reason to laugh out of anything, and that's how I don't keep things. I don't allow things to get on me. So, I laugh about anything and everything. Yeah.
Beautiful words of wisdom. I would like to thank you for finding the time and coming over and sharing all of this wonderful experience that.
Thank you very much. It has been an honor.
You carry with you. Hopefully, these following 6 months or so that you're staying here will be as flawless and fun for you. Thanks for being super honest, and I hope you have a fantastic time tonight, because you look like you're in for a party.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we're actually having a party in campus. There's a party mode. We are celebrating 60 years.
Oh, I
see. So actually, we had a party in the morning, so I had to excuse myself and come here, and then it continues today. Tomorrow we'll be in Kremlin for.
And you're going to go?
Yeah.
Amazing. Have a great time in the Kremlin as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Oh, thanks so much for coming over.
Thank you. Спасибо большое.
Bye.
До свидания.
До свидания. Bye.